to the coach and then address questions to the players, dismiss the players, and address questions to the coach. Can you start with an opening statement, please?
Yeah, first of all, we're happy with the win. I think it's important when you get to this point in the season and you're in postseason play in the regional. It's very, very important to try to stay in the winner's bracket. And if we could have drawn it up before the game and how we wanted it to play out with Scott doing what he did, us jumping out to a lead, I don't think we would have written it any differently. So very, very important for us to get the win. We still realize there's a lot of baseball left to play in this, but proud of the way we played today. I thought we played a solid baseball game, and putting that one behind us and ready for tomorrow.
All right, questions for the players? Raise your hand.
I guess Sam or Kyle or both of you, it felt like, especially early on, up and down the lineup, you guys were swinging early, you were staying aggressive at the plate. I mean, how much of an emphasis was that tonight, based either on what you saw out of them or just what you wanted to accomplish?
Yeah, they were throwing strikes early, getting ahead, and we're going up there not waiting for the pitcher's pitch. We're going to hit our pitch, and he was keeping the ball elevated in the zone. We went up there trying to hit the ball hard and make something happen.
Scott, I guess when you find out that you're going to get the start tonight, just how do you feel about just how you threw out there?
Well, I found out today actually is the final decision Skip made. They told me early on in the week that they might start me depending on who wins the first game and matchup wise, but actually found out today final decision, and I felt right. Haven't started in a while since high school, but felt comfortable once I got going with my fastball and established the strike zone, so felt all right.
Kyle, on that last hit, you needed a double for the cycle. Did you think about trying to go for two there?
No. You don't want to be too selfish when you get in that situation. You just still going to be playing team ball and any other baseball, so don't want to be selfish there at all.
I guess back to Scott, you talked about using your fastball to establish the strike zone. How quickly did that come for you? It felt like you really settled in, maybe as the outing went on, and I know you only went through 4 innings, but how quickly, I guess, did that come for you tonight, being able to set up a new fastball and come back with your secondary pitch?
Yeah, I mean, after the first inning, I just kind of treated it like a relief appearance. Pretty much the same way I've been doing it for the last 2 years. Like you said, it took me a little bit to get established at that, but once I got going, felt pretty comfortable with fastball and curveball. When I got those over for strikes and getting ahead, and just tried to use my stuff.
Scott, for a pitcher that's always come out of the bullpen, just talk about Will's performance there at the end. Just how good was it feel to see him have that performance and close out for you guys?
Yeah, it was definitely great to see that. I know as a team we were all happy for him, and we knew we had it in him. Took a little time to get it there, but I mean to see what he was doing with the stuff he was having tonight was electric, and if he can be able to do that moving forward, it's definitely big for us.
Kyle, can you talk about Scott's pitching performance and how it looked from your vantage point?
He did a very good job, I thought. He had his fastball command somewhat today. Maybe missed a couple spots inside, but he was really doing a good job controlling the outside part of the plate and flipping over his secondary pitches. He was attacking with his fastball like he always does, and he was just out there competing like all of our pitchers do. That's what makes his staff so good, is that they're always out there competing, and they don't care if it's a 2-strike count, a 3-0 count, or we're up 10, down 10. They're still out there competing.
I guess Sam, Kyle, for each of you guys, what happened on the pitches you guys hit out recently? On each of those at-bats, kind of take us through that. What happened?
Schwarber hit a missile in the gap and got the third. And then, I was just going up there looking to drive the ball to the outfield. And most of all, I didn't want to get too anxious, jumping the ball. So I just waited for my pitch. He gave me something up in the zone. I knew I could get to the outfield. And it turned out well for us.
Pretty much the same thing. Going through a bad, he started off with off speed, and I was just looking for something up in the zone to hit. And this happened to be out of third, and it got up a little bit, and there was I got some good barrel on it and I'm happy to go out.
It may seem irrelevant, in the total outcome, but 4 of your 6 runs were scored with 2 out. 4 of your first 6 were scored with 2 out, and all 3 in the first inning. Kyle, if you would just talk about, especially at home against the team that your favorite is, how significant is that to get 4 2-out runs early in the game?
I feel like 2-out hitting is what's going to win you a ball game. Definitely coming down the road. It's a stat that's not seen by many people, but it's huge for a team to get. You feel like you got a guy on first and second with 1 out, and you happen to move him, then you have 2 outs. You don't have a chance to put the ball in play and score a run. You have to get a hit. That's just huge for us. And we're going to continue with our approach and hopefully keep that 2-out hitting going.
Last one here for players.
Just last thing, Scott, how does your arm feel? And was there kind of a predetermined pitch count for you going in, or do you feel like you can go again this regional if need be?
There was no predetermined pitch count. I mean, we were definitely playing for this game. We weren't going to overlook them. First game of regional, everybody's going to be hungry to come up and beat us. So there was definitely no predetermined pitch count. If I went the whole game, if they needed me to go the whole game, so be it. But once it came out, once we got a lead, thanks to these guys, they figured we'd go to the pen and try to have me bounce back maybe later this weekend. But I mean, there was definitely no predetermined pitch count as far as that goes.
All right, guys, thanks. Larry, Tracy Smith. Questions for Coach Smith?
I guess you talked about it going, as well as you would have scripted it. How much of that too was being able to get Scott out after 4 innings? I think under 60 pitches. I mean, do you see him, because of what you were able to do with him tonight, being able to get back potentially for something?
Yeah, that was the whole discussion. After we jumped up on him in the bottom of the first, it was okay. This is good. Let's try to keep his pitch count down because we would like to have him available if we were fortunate enough to progress in this tournament. So I thought it worked perfectly with the way that it all played out.
Obviously, it's the first time Percy Carr got some action in a while. What do you think of his performance, and do you see him as a weapon going forward?
And I thought that was a huge positive in tonight's game. I really did, because if you followed us at all last year, that kid kind of put us on the back in the season, pitched us in the postseason play, and he's really struggled. No secret about that. And he made some adjustments, dropped down a little bit, and we worked on that the past week. And I was just glad that the scenario presented itself and we could get him in there and take a look at it. Because it's one thing to do it in practice, it's another to do it in a game. And I thought that was, regardless of his scenario before tonight, that was pretty electric stuff. And so I'm happy, and we're going to try to build on that and make it positive, because if we can get that guy back right, that's a weapon.
Tracy, I asked Kyle the same question, but you talked about if you had drawn it out, maybe it couldn't have played out much better. But the key to that was getting 3 runs in the first with 2 out, and then getting another run in the third with 2 out. Would you kind of just embellish on what you talked a little bit about?
First of all, great to see you. Long time. I haven't seen you in a long time. But yeah, and when that double fell in front, I think the guy broke back a little bit, and that fell in there. I thought it kind of took the pressure off us, and maybe threw a little bit of pressure in that other dugout, because if they get out of that, we had some base runners on, we were rattled a little bit, but I thought that was, again, it was a perfect scenario for us, because we jumped on them early, and I was wanting to make them chase, because I think what happens in games like this, when you look at it, people are looking at records, they're looking at your national seed. If you're playing a perceived or so-called underdog, the longer that game goes, when the score's tied or we're chasing, the more pressure your team seems to put on itself. So I thought that was big to get going like that in the first.
Tracy, you obviously had a chance to see Stanford. I know they're just getting off this game, but I mean, how do you approach it? You guys, as a coaching staff, you stay up all night to look at them, or how do you do it? And what are your thoughts on the Stanford?
The only thing I'll be watching tonight are Netflix. I always say that stuff. We watched a little bit of the first game. They're a good team. We're going to kind of take the same approach we've always taken. Is we're going to focus on what we do. I know that they got a quality starter against us tomorrow, left-hander. That's tremendous numbers for them. They play in a very good baseball conference. They're battle tested. I just don't think there's a whole lot of scouting and things like that done at this point in the season. I think you try to see some tendencies, maybe just lay some eyes on your opponent just to, knock the edge off a little bit. But we're not going to go back and scheme and game plan. And I'm serious. I'm going to go watch the second season of West Wing. That's a great show.
Is the plan to go Joey then tomorrow night?
Yes, we're going to go with Joey. He's ready and looking forward to it, and we feel that gives us the best chance with the opponent that we're facing tomorrow. So, yeah, Joey's going to be our tomorrow starter.
One more thing. A couple of national seeds did go down today in the first game. I mean, were you happy with your team's focus from the start?
Yeah, I was, because that's one of the things we talked about. And, I don't read a lot of it. Some people pointed out, and I watched the show. I wasn't real happy with the comments made, I'll be honest with you, about us not deserving a national seed. It didn't sit well with me, because what more do we have to do? We made it to the World Series last year. Those are some pretty good teams that get there. We got a big core of that group coming back. Our ERA is in the top 3 in the country. So we did talk about that. And it wasn't about who we're playing and all that. We're going to go out and be Indiana, and let's kind of, let's play the way we play. And what the most impressive part for me tonight is that we had 0 errors. I thought we played some nice plays that we made out there, but I thought we did that was what we said in the locker room. We did what we needed to do. We came out and beat an opponent soundly that we should beat soundly. I get all riled up talking about international seeds.
I guess, how did your whole thought process go, just to, coming to decide on that for us today? When did you actually, decide to go with it? What all kind of went into that?
Well, today, it was, we wanted to see kind of who it was going to be after that first game, who potentially we could face tomorrow. For us, it was mostly that, but then just Scott has, to me, an overpowering fastball, and we went with that. As I said, if he had to go 7 today, we were going to go 7 with him. But it worked perfectly because we were able to get him out of there after a relatively low pitch count. That if we could get in this thing and stay in it until Sunday, possibly Monday, if he got into a scenario like that, he would be available. So it worked perfectly. And we don't usually, and we don't, the gamesmanship, but it's just we've been unorthodox with our rotation because of injuries. We've had some things, Forty had a little tenderness. So literally, we wanted to wait until we saw what would be give us the best chance to win this region.
Last one over here to the right.
You said that you just said that talk with you being national seed kind of gets to you personally, but you also said earlier that this team doesn't really care what anybody thinks. It might get to you personally, but do you think that kind of serves as motivation for your team?
I hope so at some level, and I'll clarify that. It gets to me personally because I think it's an underlying theme, and it goes unsaid that we don't play baseball up here, or the Big Ten's a bad conference. And I get sick and tired of hearing that stuff, because if you play in this conference, I don't care who you are, you got to be on your game every single weekend, or you're going to lose games. And I get it. It's tough. There's no formula for that, but I think we earned the seed, and I wish people would just leave it at that. And I even say personally to myself, it's like you can't take it away. Regardless of the outcome of how we play from this point forward, our team has earned the number 4 national seed across the country. However that plays out is great, but we earned it, and I just wish that people would leave it at that. And, you know, and our guys will, they'll play that. No, but they're not sitting in there and saying, you know, anything on that, but I certainly remind them that we are who we are, and let's go out and prove to people that we're the best. And we are, we're one of the better teams. We played well.